I'm here with Hailey Windham. Hailey is a formidable fraud fighter holding the esteemed titles of Certified Financial Crime Specialist and 2023 Credit Union Rockstar recipient from CUNA. She's currently serving as the fraud operations leader for Mission Omega and also hosts the influential Making of Fraudology podcast. I especially love your Valentine's Day themed episode, Keanu Reeves is Not in Love with You, which we were just chatting about. Hailey, thanks for joining us in the podcast today.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy to do so and be here live and in person.
Yes.
I said we rarely ever get to do a podcast in person.
Exactly. Yes. Wonderful. Okay, so I would love to hear how you got started in fraud and why you're still in this industry.
So I started in fraud, I think kind of the way we all do, we kind of just fell into it. I started though in banking as a teller, quickly moved up into general ledger, banking, reconciliation, account balancing kind of thing. But then it was like, I got bored with it really quickly. And so they were like, hey, Hailey, we don't want this debit card reggie stuff. You do it. And lucky for me, I fell in love with it. And it just transitioned into this, instead of just preventing fraud, it was, hey, I want to stop it from ever happening, not just
Love
the
that.
losses, but stop it from ever occurring to the members. So that's kind of how I got started, and why I stay in it is the people. The people need us.
Yeah.
We have to have passionate fraud fighters, and if we don't have passionate fraud fighters, then we are just in a dying world. I mean, honestly, we're losing generational wealth to scams, and if we don't have the right people in the right seats, nothing's going to change.
Absolutely. And it can be such a, I don't want to say unrewarding, but tough job being a fraud fighter.
Absolutely.
So you need that passion to be able to keep propelling you forward. And that's also what I've just heard from so many other fraud fighters today is they have a passion for helping people. So all of that makes total sense. I would love to hear a little bit more about what you're doing now and if you have any fraud priorities that you're thinking about.
Yeah, so I wear kind of several hats. I think everywhere I go, I'm always wearing several hats. And it's because I want my hand to kind of be in everything.
Yeah.
So, with Mission Omega, I consult with them. We help financial institutions. I mainly was brought in for the credit union aspect. Credit unions, sometimes we just don't have the resources. And when we put someone in the right seat, because they maybe just one function very well, it's like they still need to know what resources they do have available to them. So being able to advocate for those credit unions and being able to bring that to the industry, part of what I do with Mission Omega is part of their brand ambassador role as well. I also, of course, as you mentioned, am the host of the Banking on Fraudology podcast, where I bring industry practitioners in to talk about really what are the struggles, what is working, what strategies are working, how are you communicating with your C-suite, and really what else do you need from other fraud fighters, and how can we make this better? And so that's been a lot of fun. And then I'm also the banking team lead for Operation Shamrock, where we are doing a lot of work with victims in this pig butchering scam, transnational organized crime. It's crazy. Erin West is an amazing person, so being able to help her in this fight, and even if it's just a small part, it's just been truly rewarding.
Oh, absolutely. And that's such valuable work that Erin and anyone working with the Shamrock.
Yeah, I didn't answer your priority question.
Go for it.
So priorities right now for me is, again, just that advocacy work. Not just for the fraud fighters, but for the victims. I think that there's still just a miscommunication of what we need to do as fraud fighters, how we really need to change the industry, and how we have the ability to do it. Again, if we can just be so passionate about what we are doing and show people there's purpose behind what we're doing. It's not just a job. This is not just that 9 to 5 we clock in, clock out. It's something we think about all the time. And if we can help push that message out as fraud fighters, that for me is kind of my priority, is trying to talk about it more and helping others feel empowered to talk about it more as well.
Absolutely. I think that's so beautiful. And the fact that it is a lot, but educating consumers and just also holding passion for the role and connecting with other fraud fighters is so critical. And I don't know, could be cheesy, but it's almost like being a crime fighter, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We are heroes.
Yes, I agree.
We're need to be humble right here.
Yes.
We are superheroes.
Yes, I
Ask my
love
children, they'll tell you.
Wonderful. In your work, how are you thinking about AI, either for how fraudsters are using it or how fraud fighters will use AI right now?
I think that the fraud fighters want to use more of it. I think that there is this world that we're living in that there aren't resources in people until we can get them trained up. We want resources, but you're more inclined to get C-suite to approve an AI function than you are to approve a brand new job role. I was a part of a recent study, and part of that report that came out, it said that like 40-something% of the small financial institutions weren't even considering using AI right now.
Wow.
If we don't move on and start using AI, we're going to be non-existent anymore. You're going to get acquired by the next thing big because you've taken a massive loss that you could have prevented by bringing in a type of AI that helped fight this fraud, because the fraudsters are moving at a rapid pace and we've got to be able to keep up. And it's not going to be done by the lonely fraud fighter who has no resources, no help. But if we can start bringing in some of this tech to combat how they're using it, that's going to be such a game changer for the industry.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I know it can be intimidating. Like, what does AI mean? Are we talking about like Jarvis from Iron Man, your automated live-in robot like the Jetsons or something? But really, I think what we're starting to see in the AI space is just like things that it can really help with is analyzing very large amounts of data with a high degree of accuracy that then surface to the fraud fighters who then make a timely decision or stop fraud before it evolves.
100%. AI is not to replace the fraud fighter, it is to enhance what we are already doing to make us better.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree. What challenges have you faced as a woman in fraud, or what advice do you have for other women in fraud?
Challenges I've faced obviously have been the resources, right?
Yeah.
But it's also been for advocating for myself.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to be loud in a room without being considered overreactive.
Sure.
I'll never forget another woman in fraud. She told me, I get too mad. And she said, and I'm loud. And I said, that's passion.
Yes.
And passion can be used to drive what you're trying to do. So for me, it was always trying to have that balancing act. I hate corporate politics, but sometimes you have to play the game. So learning how to maneuver that effectively. I should get a job because I'm qualified for it, for any other reason. And no one else should get it ahead of me if they don't have the qualifications that I have. So, just being able to truly shine as an individual versus as a woman has been something that I've really strived to do.
I totally agree, and I really appreciate that. It's not about trying to fit into certain stereotypes of how women should be or how men should be, with giant quotes here. It's more about like being yourself and utilizing the unique skills and dispositions that you have to be successful, to bring that passion and ultimately help your customers and help you.
Yeah, I have found that the more genuine and authentic I am, the more successful I am.
Yes, agreed. I could not agree more. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us today. Seriously, such a pleasure. It's really appreciated.
Absolutely, anytime. Thank you.